Hi, Shubham.
Hey Yogesh, how are you?
Fine, thank you. About you?
I'm also fine.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, wherever you are.
I can just morning.
Hey, morning everyone.
Just wait another minute or two and then we can get started. All right. I'd say we can go ahead and get started, but I don't see Suresh on the call. Will there be
Yeah.
someone else speaking up for the 5G update? Is that you, Yogesh?
Yes, Kendall. I'll share the updates for 5G.
Okay, great. You can go ahead and get started then.
Sure. Okay. Thanks, Kendall. Let me just quickly share the screen. Yeah. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yes. Hi, everyone. This is 5G status. I think we made some good progress over the last couple of weeks. As part of our ongoing activities on SIT, we were able to successfully establish a call flow and send the traffic in our SIT environment. The SIT environment is using the real GNB and the UAs. So we started browsing the YouTube and the Google channels from the phone. That was a great start. And moving forward, we are working on the QoS support for the 5G sessions. So right now we are starting with all the basic support, and going further, we are going to enhance it very specific to 5G. Also, there are some proposals on orchestration related extensions for 5G, particularly in the subscriber DB and maybe in the AMF area. So basically, we have to extend it to support slicing, and we have to inform whether the subscriber is 5G or not. So all this proposals are ongoing. Also, we are working on this PCF extension. We are going to support this PCF extensions. We have started some initial loop and the scale tests just to see where we stand. So we are benchmarking memory utilization, CPU utilization. So we just got started with that. I think it will further hardening going further. And also the charging feature. So based on the traffic, what is the charging or how much is the usage per subscriber. So those features we are currently working on. And some of the next items, I think there will be a couple of more orchestration changes, maybe on the policy side and maybe some more on the AMF side. Also, the next big task will be the stateless, to make sure that we comply with the stateless feature. And it is on at par with the current 4G feature set. Also, there is plan to add some new integrity algorithms or some algorithms, whatever the bare minimum is there, but we still want to make sure that we try to comply as much as possible. So a few more algorithms we are going to add, and some more scale test and loop test and throughput benchmarking we are going to plan. So for that, we are going to use Spirent. So we started the initial integration with Spirent. So in coming days, I think we will do more throughput benchmarking and the scale test. Yeah, I think that's all from my side. Any questions on the same?
Hey Yogesh, you were mentioning something about charging. Can you elaborate? What are we planning to do and how all of this comes inside orchestrator extensions?
Yeah, I think right now what we are planning is to have to make sure the existing 4G feature, the existing charging feature is same as 4G feature, but going further, maybe putting a quota, putting a volume-based, timer-based limit. So that might also be possible as part of orchestration. But right now, it is the basic per subscriber usage facility we are going to provide.
So are we building this from scratch or extension, as in are we using some other open source project and trying to connect with our orchestrator?
No, there are some existing framework for the 4G. So we are trying to see how best we can leverage it with as meaning we see that with minimum changes if we can extend it. So that is the initial thought process. So, but yeah, during the course,
Mhm.
if we find something, then we will for sure add. But right now, it's just extending the existing 4G infra.
So then like we won't have to connect all of these things with, let's say, OCS system with Federation. So Magma's orchestrator will have built-in OCS charging system, something like
Yeah, I
that.
think that is still, I think on the, there are some discussions ongoing. We have not fully finalized it. Basically, what we are doing for now is, yes, taking the stats from the fast path, accumulating into one place and sending it up. But yeah, the other plugins and add-ons, yeah, we have to still work it out.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Okay. I have no further questions. I think back to you, Kendall.
Great. Thanks, Yogesh. So next update, we'll have a DevOps update from Tim. Do we have Tim on the call?
Yeah. Hey guys, short DevOps update. What's currently ongoing is the LT integration test migration to Linux Foundation. So we have the nodes ready, the test running, and we're currently improving the performances because we decided to go with libvirt instead of VirtualBox because as expected and FreedomFi told us, um, performances are way better on libvirt. So we're currently improving the current performances. And when that is done, you will be able to trigger on a pull request the LT integration test and also the CY integration test. We are actively working on the 5G pipeline too, to be able to run some 5G scenario using DS tester. Another big topic is the developer experience improvement. We've been putting a lot of efforts working on that. So please, if you have any idea on how to improve the current developer experience, especially in terms of CI and CD, please come discuss with us in the DevOps Slack channel so we can maybe like work together to improve it. We're obviously working on the newest release, helping the team to build, deploy, and test those releases before they go public. And the last but not least, we're helping the community and try to answer all the questions on Slack and mailing list. Any question, guys?
Yeah, hey Tim. So you were saying regarding libvirt, are we running these tests on FreedomFi's that Jenkins?
No, that's the Linux Foundation Jenkins.
Okay, and we are moving from VirtualBox.
We're not moving from VirtualBox. VirtualBox will remain the default when you do Vagrant up. It's just in our CI, we're gonna use libvirt to virtualize the VM. It won't change how the test is working. It's just the way we virtualize the node. I mean the VM. We use a different technology because it has way better performances.
Performance. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it only for the CI part. Whenever there are some jobs,
Correct.
it use like the hypervisor is different. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. Also, you were mentioning that we are changing how the end access gateway binaries are built. Like previously, we were using Fab with VirtualBox, and Matthew was trying to convert it to bare metal, like something like that.
So basically, it's not bare metal. So what we do right now is that we build Magma within the VM, the VirtualBox VM, and what we did with Matthew, I mean, what Matthew mainly did is that he was able to spin up an EC2 instance on Amazon, for example, and just run one script, and the script was installing all the dependency in order to build Magma. Sorry, to build Magma. And then when it's done, when it installs the dependency to build Magma, it builds Magma. So you won't need that VM anymore, that VirtualBox VM that has all the dependency. You can directly do it on an EC2 machine, on your bare metal machine if you want.
So let's say if I have a GitHub Actions Ubuntu node for jobs, then we can run the entire test and CI pipeline.
Correct. That's the goal, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, sounds good.
Hi, Tim. Have a question. I'm Govind from ARM. So running the virtual machines and Vagrant using VirtualBox and libvirt, those are tested on x86 machines only, right?
Yes, correct.
Have
However,
anybody tried using ARM machines?
yeah, so we're currently working with ARM on getting Magma ready. I need to sync with them, but the last update was the DevOps team made available some ARMS nodes on the Linux Foundation Jenkins, and those nodes will be used to build Magma on ARM directly. So we have a project ongoing to make sure that CI we also handle like ARM architecture.
Right. Yeah, I'm aware of that. So I know there is a work going on to make a AWS Graviton 2 instance so that this orchestrator and the other AGW component will be hosted on AWS. So apart from that, I would like to try this the Magma S1 AP test running on ARM platforms. So towards that, I would like to try Vagrant and libvirt combination because VirtualBox is not supported on ARM platforms. I just want to know anybody have tried that combination in any ARM platforms.
I think someone did, and there is in the Slack channel, there is a channel called ARM project, and someone from Open5G was able to run the test. Go there and just ask your question. They're gonna help you.
All right. Thanks, Tim.
Sure.
Any other questions for Tim? All right, then we will move on to the next update. It will be Echo for a release update.
Yeah, hi Kendall, hello everyone. So there are no new release updates necessarily. I think Tim briefly mentioned that we are still validating the Dutch releases for 1.5. That is still in progress. We are looking to get that closed out this week. Once the release is out, there'll be a post on the announcement thread to update the community. The next release will be 1.7, and that will be lined up for after the current sprint ends, sometime in the next 2 weeks. So those are the brief updates for the releases that we are expecting to come out in the next couple of weeks. Right.
So you said like next week we'll have 1.7 out?
No, so we are working on a 1.5 or 3 release at this time.
Okay.
And that is what we're expecting to release sometime by end of this week. 1.7 will be released after the current sprint, which ends in about 2 weeks. Let me check the date. Exact date for this current sprint is the 17th. So just a couple more weeks for 1.7 to be released.
And that will include our 5G alpha features, right?
That is still being discussed, but tentatively that's the plan.
Okay, thanks.
Right, thanks. Yeah, but so I think just to repeat again, I think the highlight feature that will come with 1.7, in addition to the several improvements and fixes is the containerized AGW services in Alpha. That is also being tested, and hopefully by end of this sprint, we should be able to ship it as part of 1.7.
So is that PR merged with master containerization of AGW?
It's still in progress. I think not all the pieces have landed just yet. I'm currently looking at one of the PRs right now, and I need to follow up on it. But since we have 2 weeks to that time, we have some time to get all the fixes in and then ship a solution that is in Alpha.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Echo. And the last thing that we have on the agenda is from Ildiko, onboarded rate related topics.
Yes, hi. Well, maybe I should start with a really short intro. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ildiko Vancha. I work as Senior Manager of Community and Ecosystem at the Open Infra Foundation. And I've been following the Magma community, and recently I also started to get a bit more involved to help with improving contributor experience and onboarding. And you probably saw some emails from me about new meetings that we have about the topic. And as part of the discussions that we've been having with a few Magma community members, we put together a really short survey that Jared posted on the general Slack channel, I believe on August 30th. And I wanted to bring this up on this call because the survey was asking people about what was most difficult when they were starting to look into Magma. And we added items like figuring out the roadmap, or figuring out the steps that are required to contribute. And one of the items that I believe is relevant for this group and the engineering call maybe is getting stuck setting up the product. We don't have a lot of details that people gave, but this one was definitely the most voted option from all. So I just wanted to bring this up here for now as a food for thought in terms of kind of thinking about how we could figure out what to improve. This might be in some cases a documentation improvement, but I think it is definitely an interesting data point in terms of area to improve. I don't know if anyone saw that short poll on Slack, or if any of you are already tuned into the onboarding and contributor experience calls, or if you have any questions or comments to this one or ideas.
And in case you want to get plugged into those calls, they are on the Magma public calendar, I believe, this same time on every other Thursday when we don't have this engineering meeting. So you can have that chance to join in and join the conversation with Ildiko and the rest of the community.
Yes, thanks, Kendall. It is alternating with the engineering calls, so the time slot should be familiar. And unfortunately, I don't have answers right now, but I wanted to point out that some of the discovery kind of activity that we are doing in terms of how we could improve contributor experience and also how we could improve the experience of newcomers. It looks like that it's also pointing towards some of the more technical and engineering type of topics. So it's not just about the contribution itself, but also about the experience with setting up Magma. So if I mean, I'm happy to discuss the more technical related items on the engineering call, or we can just brainstorm on the onboarding calls, or both, in terms of how to look into the deployment kind of challenges. As I said, it might be a documentation improvement in some cases, just to kind of make sure that people have all the information that they need when they are trying to deploy the different components. Yep, that would have been all, if there are no questions or comments.
Great. Thanks, Ildiko. And that actually brings us to the end of our agenda, but we do still have a little bit of time left if there are any other pressing items that people would like to bring up.
Anything like we can expect in tomorrow's 5G call? Can someone like Kader, can you say anything like that?
Yeah, so tomorrow Ullas would be updating the delta, right, from the last monthly call to this call. This monthly call, the R&D advancements, something similar to what Yogesh presented. And we have also, the first meeting we focused on mostly the R&D aspect of it. In this meeting, we are, going to focus on commercial and community project point of view. So we have invited a couple of companies who are building solutions around Magma to help the Magma community. So one of the company is South Sudan operator ISP. He will have a floor to speak. His journey of how he evolved from nothing to using Magma, right? And more. And then we also have another speaker who is from Rebecca, who's trying to build the lab testing as well as the live testing packages around Magma to support the Magma community, installations and commercial deployments. So those are the three topics that we're going to address tomorrow. I'm looking forward to seeing you all.
Will there be some demonstration like available? Like, will there be?
In last meeting we did a detailed demonstration, right, Subham? As you know, 5G.
Yeah.
And this, sorry. And this week we would probably, we are trying to do it in an alternative way. So to balance both the R&D as well as helping the community and commercial aspects of it, right? Because that's the agenda of that 5G call. So we're trying to balance it between these two things, every month. So this week meeting is going to be more focused on commercial / community projects related information sharing.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. It's going to be pretty interesting. I'm looking forward every one of you to join, and we'll have a good session. Thanks for asking, Shubham. Any other questions, Kendall or anyone else?
Nope. And if, again, if you're interested in joining that call, it is also on the calendar. And to see that public calendar, it's calendar.magmacore.org. So that's where you can find all of that information to join those meetings.
Thanks, Kendall.
Thank you, Kendall.
All right. Anything else people would like to discuss? I'll take the silence as a no. So I will give you 30 minutes back in your day. Have a great rest of your week. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.